guys, I'm Shayla, the founder of Chakra Kingdom, and today we are here to talk a little bit more about the 90-Day Transform series with Christina. How are you doing, love?
I'm doing great today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Christina is an incredible choreographer, dancer. She's a college dance team coach, as well as many other things. If you want to let them know a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So I moved to LA 7 years ago and I coach a college dance team now. I was on Clipper Spirit, which was kind of like my foot in the door here. Since then, I have done jobs such as music videos, live shows with artists, and I recently just performed at the Miss Hawaii pageant on Oahu under some of my former teammates that were on Clippers with me. So it kind of just became a full circle thing, and I'm deeply rooted in the industry now and I love it. So
I love it. Yeah, I've watched your growth and it's been so cool, and I'm so happy that you got to go through the 90-Day Transform series. And I just wanted to ask you, what was your experience like going through it? Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Why did you do the Transform series when you came in? What was your intention? Why did you want to do it?
Yeah, I think I just heard the word transform, and I think that word itself is already very enticing. And so I wanted to see what it was all about. I think it's really healthy to go through new phases of life under some structure. So that was more so my intention, was to not go into the program knowing what I wanted, but just seeing what it had in store for me with the process that you had structured for us, if that makes sense.
Yes, I love that. What was your kind of first inclination? What was the excitement around it? Were you more interested in like the psychological part, more of the spiritual aspect, just like knowing you were going to have framework and a coaching group to kind of tap in with, or what intrigued you?
I think the psychological part for sure. I'm very spiritual. I have a very close relationship with my spirituality, my faith with God. So I think that part I was already more tapped into, but I think the psychological part of it, where I can connect the two to myself and be more grounded and from internally, was what my goal was for sure.
I love it. And I love that you kind of came in with an open heart and mind to it, because I think that's the best process to have, because you really don't know what's going to happen. And I watched you go through such insane shifts, and it was so cool to see.
Yes.
And let's talk about those shifts. What were some of the key, aha moments or things that you noticed during the experience?
Yeah, so I think one of my main things that I experienced was learning how to set boundaries. My transformation with boundaries alone really, really made a difference in my life personally and in my work. I think that I was able to set boundaries in a healthy way and not in an extreme way. I tend to move until I burn out, or I move in extremes, whether it's good or bad. If I'm stressed out, I'll move in extremes to not make myself stressed. Or if I'm having a lot of fun, I want to keep having a lot of fun. So I think just setting parameters around the things that would make those things healthy, even if it is a stressful situation. How do I set parameters to take a break, or whatever? Saying no to people, like, I want to make it to everyone's birthday dinners or everyone's hangouts, but if I can't sleep at night to do my job, or to mentally recover from the day before, that's technically not a healthy thing. So just, I think the biggest takeaway was learning how to set boundaries, and also implementing my solutions in a timely manner from what I was already aware of or becoming aware of.
That's so good. I know I watched you go through that process of really because you were definitely like yes woman when we started, and we all are. I've been through it. I can only say that.
Yeah.
And so much of us and have that side to us, but it was so cool to watch you go through it, and you just be like, no, like I'm really tired tonight, I can't. Or like you had extra stuff going on, and you're like, there's just stuff that I can't show up for, and if people love me, like they're gonna understand. And I loved that. That's so cool. So since coming out of it, or let's go back, is there anything that was very prevalent that was tough, like a week that was really tough, that you went something and you really noticed the work happening and you were like, oh my God, I see how this is relating in my life or my childhood and why this is happening?
Yeah, so I go back and forth to my hometown a lot. And I think that when I do travel home, I'm pulled in several different directions when I'm being called to going home for holidays, or even just for personal things. And I think I always stress about how to spread myself thin to see everybody when I go home, while also like maintaining my work ethic and not losing whatever momentum I've been building here, because it's very easy to do when you go take a break for that long period of time. So I think I just did a good job of like using the transformation structure and being very, very honest with myself and saying, okay, like I'm gonna give myself time to see one person that I want to see one time and not spread myself thin to try to see all my best friends and all my family at home. And if people aren't receptive to that, it's not my fault. It's not, I don't have to punish myself or, you know, sell my time short or sell myself short and abandon my sleep or my time in order to please my friends and family, or even just former people that I've danced with before. You know, like I'm very grateful for those things, but I think that people started to notice that I was easier to be around even when I started doing that. Like they don't get the tired version of me. They get, you know, a full energized version of me, but they only might get that once. And that's, to me, that was better than spreading myself thin, trying to, you know, down to the minute, like, spend my time with everybody. You know, some days I just wanted to sleep, and I'm just gonna sleep in and do nothing, and that's
it's
okay.
It's crazy how we can feel guilty for
sleeping.
Yeah. But that again is such learned behavior of that, like go, autopilot, like overdrive, high achievers, which is totally what happens when you're in industries like we're in, and just it's life, it's hard. And would you say that now you are more regulated in your nervous system? Do you feel like you make more stress-free decisions? Like, what would you say is top thing for you?
Yeah, I think I'm more regulated in my nervous system because my environment hasn't changed. So like my environment is still very like stressful and high paced, but I don't find myself stressing in that way. Like I think that it could be stressful or it could be high paced, but I'm not reacting to that with the same intensity that I'm in it. I think I'm like being calm in the intensity and just letting it happen moment by moment and allowing myself to be like, okay, tonight I'm gonna rest so that I can let the chaos ensue again tomorrow, but I'm prepared because I know I'm gonna prioritize resting rather than stressing about tomorrow and not resting and then just making it worse. So I think the transformation series like really allowed me to be more intentional with just like the simple things that we just have like in our subconscious that I knew were there, but I didn't like act on before.
And did you like the way the framework kind of focused in on the chakra energy centers and how it was set? Like, did you have weeks where you just were like, whoa, it's all relating to my stability on root chakra or like whatever? Yeah, I feel like everything that you have had in place, like each week, it almost felt like it was happening at the same time, unintentionally, but very intentionally. Yeah. And the questions that you have, like, the worksheets and the questions that we have to ask ourselves, like even that in and of itself was just like a really big eye-opener as to like, well, these are the types of questions I haven't asked myself in years, but it could be the answer to my issue that I'm having right now, but I didn't even know that this question existed to get the answer I've been needing. So like, I feel like your structure was really, really amazing. That's awesome. That makes me happy. Anything that you felt like was tricky or tough, or that if people are wondering, should I do this, should I not do this, that you would tell them?
I think just staying consistent. I think it was amazing that sometimes we would spend like an extra week or so like on a module. You know, you don't have to just be doing it as if it's homework with a due date. If you need more time, you know, if you need a couple extra days or another week to like really let it set in, that was what really helped me, because it didn't feel so like, okay, your 8 weeks is up and like this is what we're doing. It was like it's still on your time, and it was more catered to your needs, so you get the most out of it, and then you trust the process more because it feels more organic rather than like rushed. Like it doesn't need to be rushed, and the 8 weeks is just as a suggestion, but not I guess like hard deadline. There's no deadline to your transformation. So I feel like we were always on the same page. Or even if you felt like, hey, I'm thinking you might need more time on this, I'm like, I do need more time on this. Like
I have an intuitive
nudge. Like she would always know, and so that felt really comforting to know, like, not only was she there to be the listener and like the person in place of the structure, but she was very much in tune with what I was going through personally to understand that when I needed more time or when I needed more guidance or more questions. So
I love that makes me happy.
Yes.
And you're busy, very busy, like always, and it's we all are, but I felt like and feel like I purposely set it up in the structure it is so that people that are busy can do the work and only do 20 minutes a day or so. And do you feel like you were able to handle it?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's a choice. It's not a if I have time, it's how can I make the time, because when you're busy, you know, obviously there's things that take place and there's priorities, but if you make the time to transform and heal and really do the work from the inside out, it makes everything else that you're busy with a lot easier. So I felt like doing this transformation series had to be a priority because it was going to make the rest of my life healthier and easier. So
amazing. Wow. And anything else you want to share about the 90-day transform series?
I just think that it was helpful even in the time of when I was doing really well. Like I didn't have a specific trauma or anything necessarily like wrong in my life. It just felt like, okay, I kind of want to elevate from where I'm already at. So I don't think that I think it's for everybody I do think it's for everybody because you don't need to be going through something bad or traumatic or like super deep or serious to transform and elevate. You could be on the very right track and then it could just help you get to the next level or even help manage the track you're on and stabilize that, I guess.
Ooh, so, I love that.
Yeah.
It's
that's
true.
What it did for me. That's what it did for me the most.
Yeah. I think because a lot of times people are like, oh, well, I don't need healing or I don't need this or that.
Yeah, I don't need this, but it's like I think everybody does at some point, even if your life is going well.
Yeah, totally. And always just looking at how could I be better, do more, not do more. I feel like the program kind of helps you to shift away from doing less. More. It's like doing less but receiving more almost. It's so wild. With intention though, and clarity and purpose. So that's amazing. Yeah. Well, I loved having you and thank you so much for being with me today.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you.